Hi, everybody. Welcome to another session of the Nimiq podcast update. This is the third one, and we think it's actually pretty nice. Let us know what you think about it. If you have some ideas or some feedback about how to improve it, or some topics that you would like to, for us to discuss. We also try to invite special guests all the time to talk about different topics. And this time, we have Sven as usual, but also we have a special guest. Micha from the NIMcubator, well, from the Nimiq community, and also taking care of the NIMcubator right now. Hi,
Hello,
Micha.
everybody. Hi.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So your name is Micha, but you are actually Diese, right? Your nickname.
Yeah, my nickname is Diese. It was Diese Gute back in the days, but to not have it too complicated for everyone, and as Gute is a German word like this, I decided to shorten it. The name is Michael, but my real name is Michali. I'm Greek, and Michael is just the German version of it. I'm 30 years old, and yeah, I'm really happy to be part of the initiative, and I'm really happy to be able to be part of this wonderful project.
Cool.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, maybe, or where you're coming from?
Yeah,
or,
sure.
I mean, not Greece, sure. Yes, for sure, but I mean, maybe there's more.
Yeah, sure. Basically, I'm coming from the telemarketing and sales. I was a project manager until January of this year. So my main profession is IT, B2B, telemarketing and sales. I was a call center agent back in the days. That's how it started. And then I've made my way to IT security projects and then customers, of course. Yes.
Yeah, you've been all over the place, and now you're on blockchain.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Now I'm on blockchain. I was always a guy with a technical background. Let's say it like this. A little bit of technical background was always there. I started to join crypto in 2017. Back in the days, it was end of 2017. So the best possible entrance you could have, of course, right in front of Bitcoin top. But it was really interesting time for me. And my first contact with crypto was to send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin Cash wallet when the network launched back in the days. It was, really funny experience. Yeah. Let's say it like this.
I also have a funny connection with that. I remember before there was this fork, I was also just so new to crypto. I didn't really know too much. I was like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna crash? What's gonna happen? And I took my Bitcoin out. I didn't know at that time, and I would have had both afterwards, So I was with nothing afterwards. Actually, now I feel so silly about it, but at that time I was really like, maybe this is not gonna work out. Yeah, so I guess everybody has this kind of story. So it's okay, you learn, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I got help indirectly from a Nimiq team member back in the days, Tamo. I was thrown into a crypto group of my friends and was like screaming for help, and he was one of the guys who helped me back then. And after that, he pitched Nimiq to me, and of course, I had no other chance but to join the project as an investor, of course. So that was the start.
Nice. So you're with the project for a long time then?
Actually, I'm a Genesis block community member. I've made my KYC in 2017, 2018, beginning of 2018. But I exited crypto like it went out of my attention like after 1 year with a big bear market, and being new to the crypto space, of course, it was devastating back in the days. Then I joined.
You're one of the participants of the Genesis block and Nimiq.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
So
Well,
sorry?
For people out there, just for people out there who might not be familiar with this, the early contributors of the project who got to be part of the Genesis block, which is the very first block of the Nimiq blockchain. So their address is there, embedded in that blockchain, in the very first block of the blockchain. So in that blockchain, in the very first block of that blockchain, of our blockchain. So that's pretty cool for people that have been in, like, from the beginning of the project, to say, hey, yeah, I'm there, I'm part of it.
Yeah, I won't give away my wallet just in case to be able to prove it. No, it's really cool. I love the fact. Yes.
Nice. All right. Yeah, really interesting. Yep. Now you're working with us for the NIMcubator, so you're helping with this effort, really pushing it forward. What's your how long is it going now? Maybe a few months now. How do you feel about the first month? What has happened so far?
Generally speaking, very positive. It was such a nice experience to get into it, but I need to add, of course, that software development and everything related was not in my scope. I'm not coming from there, so I had much help from Max, for example, or Maestro. There was many community members which helped me like grasp the thing right and get into it. But overall, it's so nice to speak with all the community members about their ideas, especially about the backgrounds, because when you talk about the background, you always find out some possible points of contact, or you remember this community member, then if some question about this topic opens up, and hey, I know, for example, Richie is a really great full stack developer in this case. And yeah, so we have two projects which came out, like one is fully budgeted and is worked on currently, and it's Metanim. I can give you a small introduction about it after. And the next project will get hopefully decided tomorrow in the next community funding board. An idea originally generated by Max, a Nimiq map shop directory. So that speaks for itself. The Metanim project, for example, is a project which is of very high value for the Nimiq ecosystem, because you will hopefully be able to pay anywhere with your NIMs, just if they accept SEPA instant on their homepage, for example, or on their shop, or Bitcoin, for example. It will be possible just to pay with your NIMs via browser plugin, which is currently created by one of our old community members, Ralph. And it's really interesting to see the hurdles where we had some problems, where we need to maybe change something, especially with the Nimiq map project, for example. We didn't have a real vision. It was just we want to have the map and so on. And it's a creative process, of course. So I went over and found a developer and for the project, for the Nimiq map directory, and his name is Eric, and he was like eager to work on Nimiq related projects, and was asking for it in Telegram. And after we found that we have an idea and we need someone to take the responsibility for this idea, I asked Eric, and he was keen and happy to prepare a proposal with me together. And I'm always looking forward to have you guys to approach me, to ask if you need anything, if you need any support, if you have any idea and don't know how to maybe proceed. Feel free always to contact me in Telegram or via Discord. I'm always open for any discussion and would love to hear from you.
Great, great, great.
Any new ideas that you've seen recently or anything exciting?
Yeah, actually, we have 20 ideas, but many are really big. So, for example, Shai had the idea to make an Nimiq browser, for example. I mean, generally, it's a really great idea. It's way too big to start like that in the current stage of the NIMcubator. As we are currently very early and building up, it would be wrong, in my opinion, to start with the behemoth project at first. It's always good if people have like minimum viable product ideas, like they have a vision, and it shouldn't be way too complicated at first, because we still need the infrastructure for this. So the browser, for example, we have an 1 second.
It's a common thing I notice from developers. It's people are very excited and enthusiastic, right? And you have this idea, and it looks so simple. I mean, it's like a browser, okay? So you maybe get the Chromium project in, what Brave is using and Chrome is using, and you just build a few things on top, and that's it. You know, a few buttons here and there, and it looks so simple. But then when you look and actually figure out the parts of it, the components needed, I mean, it's an entire project, Brave, right? If it was easy, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's cool to have those ideas. But then I think it's also part of the NIMcubator brainstorming to analyze those ideas, see what's the valuable component, maybe how much of the other things could be stripped out. Can it be a plugin? Does it need to be a browser, for example? You know?
Yeah. Yes. So actually, a very good idea, in my opinion, is Price Dab, coming from France, one of our old community members too, or NIMscore. I don't know if the name is set in stone already. It's basically an gaming high score platform, which should utilize Nimiq as the mean of exchange of to gain points, for example. Of course, so basically, if you play a browser game of your choice, and you want to, oh, sorry, I'm missing the.
Like, do you mean in-game items or something like that, or you want to have a score and you want to move them from one game to another?
No, sorry. If you play many browser games, for example, and want to compete with your friends, but you are maybe playing 10 games, that you have a high score system, which is for all the games together, and have like a ranking. And have prizes in the form of NIM.
So things that we would like to see coming from the NIMcubator are like games. I think it's a great idea. Being Nimiq like native to the web makes it very easy to integrate the games. I remember NIMtrees. It literally came from like we were discussing in the community, hey, ideas for games, and I thought like, hey, a game. Maybe I just went and searched for open source HTML5 based games, and I found this Hectrix game. Hey, and I just like posted, hey, maybe somebody wants to integrate there. Stefan from the community was like, it seems like easy. He just went and did it like literally in days. Then of course the fine tuning is the one, the thing that takes the most. He like fine tuning it to have the colors in the same way of the Nimiq style, and then to protect it from people gaming it. A game that is gamed, but people hacking it in some way and benefiting from it. That is the part that require a little bit more effort, but integrating it in a game that is already existent was pretty like easy for him. So I think having more games would be something interesting. People really enjoy games, at least to get going when they're getting started with the Nimiq blockchain. It's not like they're going to earn a lot of money from it. It's more like when you introduce somebody into the blockchain and the ecosystem, it's something so intuitive and fun. I introduce people to Nimiq by telling them to go to NIMtrees, and they play a couple of games. They receive some NIM, and now they have a wallet. They already use crypto and they play some game. So I find that very beneficial.
Yeah, actually, games are really great, as you see, as you have said in the last update too, that the chain gets utilized and people really get closer to Nimiq like that. We also have actually 3 people which want to create games. So guys, you hear it and see it on Sunset Cyberspace and so on Nimtris, that it's really worth it, and you will get a high reputation in the Nimiq community if you create something like that, of course.
Yeah,
to games.
So if you have ideas, if anybody out there has ideas for games or is already working, working on something like that, just remember to talk with Micha or Diese and join the NIMcubator. It can be like an uncoordinated effort. It doesn't have to be yourself just building it. It can combine several developers that want to build a game, and that is always like exciting for people to add to their portfolio, I guess. If they're like maybe learning a new language, they're starting to develop something. If you're just starting and learning, you can pair up with somebody more experienced, and it will help you with your learning curve. And then somebody else maybe also can get some help and build something cool for the ecosystem and the community. I'll swear, I know, I promise you that the community will appreciate it. When there's new games, everybody goes crazy, start playing them and share their input. So that's pretty cool.
Pretty successful, yeah.
Yeah. So there's some other topic that we were discussing a little bit before is we just added, we always try to have a list and prepare what we're going to talk about in these calls, in these sessions. And there's this recent topic that we just had to discuss it. It's non-financial advice, of course, but everybody's talking about the recent market crash. No financial advice. But now let's talk about financials.
We should all get a T-shirt.
Yes. Everybody's talking about the overall market crash in the crypto space. And there like a lot of, everybody can only speculate. Nobody knows for sure what happened. Usually crypto is like that. People have been long enough in crypto, knows what it's like to wake up with all the reds, and people know this might pass, and then maybe later it's going to be again going up or whatever. Everything is very volatile in crypto still because it's a young market. But what are you guys' speculations? I read, for example, that because it's in the end of the month, people that get paid with crypto need to liquidate their assets to change it for fiat and pay rent or pay whatever. And now more people getting into crypto, more people getting paid with crypto means more people selling crypto at the end of the month. Somebody actually shared a graph with me showing at the end of each month of this year, there is a slight crash every time that you reach like after 15. So
means that there's adoption.
It means that there's adoption. Because people getting paid with crypto for their work is going there, and they still need to sell it for regular fiat things that like paying rent or paying gaslight or whatever, but still means there's adoption. And it could be like that, but of course there's more to it. I think something else kindled this market crash.
I mean, last time, okay, so I don't know when this video is going to go out. So the last crash we saw was yesterday or last night. It was like more than 10% down. And a few days back, it was almost 10% down or something like that. And those few days ago, it had to do with miners in China that were shut down because of electricity, a huge blackout. And that actually has crashed the blockchain to some degree. And those things are, those are forces of nature. Can't really do much about it. That system is still is sensitive to those kind of changes. For last night, I haven't heard anything yet what was causing it, but it was also quite intense, no, in terms of downturn. It's also the market. I think honestly, right now, as we are quite in a bull run, right, there is a lot of speculation. The market is overboard, right? RSI is very high. There's a lot of a lot of people coming in. So I think it's a natural correction, and honestly, it's a great opportunity to buy some cheaper. No financial advice.
And even some people say that is totally no financial advice, but it's a great opportunity. I didn't say that, but no. And I think it's also, some people would say, even a healthy pullback after so many
I think so.
weeks of a bull run. Everything that goes up has to come down eventually. Let's see how much down further it goes. But I think it's natural things that come with popularity and increasing in visibility. Because at least for me recently, people that historically have not been into crypto, that are not even tech savvy, have been coming to me like, hey, now I heard about this crypto thing, I want to try it out. So adoption is increasing, and all these pullbacks and things are expected from adoption. Also, as some spikes come in the market, some spikes are higher, like going up, and some spikes going down. So
spikes, you know, like Dogecoin a few days back, 200% in one day. I mean, it has to crash if that happens like this, just because Elon Musk tweeted something. I'm not sure if that's beneficial to the crypto market in general for being taken serious, but that still happens.
Was talking with a friend about that, and I heard this. I've not checked this information to be factual, but he knows his crypto, so I think it's like comes from somewhere legitimate. He said, I was researching Dogecoin, and I read that if you check in the Dogecoin blockchain, like a big percentage, like I think 30% of the total amount of Dogecoin are in 5 wallets, in 5 addresses. So it's heavily, the supply is heavily centralized still, because it's...
I know who has one of those wallets. It's not me.
Won't accuse.
But it's the guy who tweeted so much and makes the price move, you know?
Who knows?
I think. I mean, he was the former CEO of Dogecoin, right?
Yeah. Now
officially.
Yeah.
Now it's the
really far.
But also, I saw a documentary, I think Banking on Bitcoin. It was in Netflix some years ago. I recently searched for it, but it's no longer there. It was a pretty good documentary about the crypto history so far. And they interviewed Dogecoin founder. And he was like, dude, we created a meme coin. And he was not expecting for this to go as high as it has been going. And he's like, yeah, I'm not surprised as everybody. And I think that is the irony of it. It's an irony kind of coin. I of course support the idea of new coins and new crypto. I hope the Dogecoin community is not going to come after me. But I think everybody kind of agrees it's an irony coin, and there lies its like kind of power. It's ironic the way they created it. They intended it for it to be ironic, but then if there's community, if there's people supporting it, then there's people supporting it. That's what's going to happen.
I guess. And it has a cute doggy.
It has a cute doggy.
Memes,
other good news.
Memes are strong.
There's also some good things happening, right? Richie, you read something
about
Venmo?
It's like at the same time talking in the same direction, like Dogecoin adoption, crypto adoption, and the recent market moves. So also, if we analyze in general, it's not just volatility what shows that there's adoption, and people like Elon Musk talking about a specific coin and potentially moving the market there, but also is like big time companies getting supported by crypto, or not supporting crypto. So like, for example, Visa and MasterCard, I read that they're now starting to support Bitcoin in some places of the world. And also Venmo, PayPal's Venmo is now allowing, they announced this Tuesday, or this video is going to come next week, but this last Tuesday, they announced that they are accepting or allowing users to buy and sell Bitcoin within Venmo. And Venmo is a pretty popular app in some places of the world. I think the United States, principally. So I think that speaks a lot. I know. I think it's
USDC on
exactly.
Ethereum.
I was going to ask you
not Bitcoin exactly, but yeah. But it's like
okay.
I mean, this is basically a huge company like Visa, and it seems MasterCard as well. But I found only the PR of Visa. What could you call this? It's basically opening the doors, accepting Nimiq Ethereum as a valid and reliable form of transporting value from one to the other. And I mean, there's no better thing for validation than a big player like that, which for some people, I guess, would be seen as an enemy, basically adopting and coming together with the cryptosphere. So I think this is great. I mean, there's nothing better that you can say in terms of being useful, you know. If banks are with all their money and all the technology that they can build, they still come back to say, nah, USDC on Ethereum is good. It's like we can't beat it. Like that is something, in my opinion. That is something.
But also something that I'm excited about is that this might make it easier for people, for non-tech savvy people, to get into crypto. If you're like, okay, what's the risk? There's no risk. It's basically you buy this coin USDC, it's stable in price, and then you can use it with your Visa or your MasterCard. I think those kind of, or also Venmo saying, hey, you can buy and sell Bitcoin here. You just like can use a little bit. People that already have Venmo could try it out as a like the first time they try it out in an easy, very, like a way that is not intimidating for them. And then later, I think once somebody tries crypto for the first time, they start losing this fear, and they're like, maybe I'll try something else. Maybe I'm going to try like another wallet, like a crypto wallet, and just have the crypto and not connect it to fiat. And like that first step, and so many people allowing people to get, so many companies allowing people to take the first step into crypto, I think is beneficial for the entire crypto space. Because you could argue that some of these companies that allow the processing of like USDC into like MasterCard, how more centralized can you think, like Visa and MasterCard? But at the same time, they are allowing people to use crypto. So kudos for that.
But USDC is also not decentralized, right? So I think it's work in progress. And on one hand, I'm happy to see it. On the other hand, I also think there is a certain danger if too much of the crypto technology is used by centralized entities, because being convenient is always something that is very attractive. And we see it now in China, right? They are just about to roll out their central bank controlled digital currency. And I saw some interviews this morning and people say, yeah, it's beautiful. It's so convenient. I'm afraid I'm not going to go away from it again. Yes, I'm afraid so too. But we have seen also where this leads, right? And just before preparing this call, we actually realized that Micha and myself, we both lived in Athens in Greece in 2015, when overnight banks decided, you know what, guys, we're closed. We don't going to give you any more money. You try to get your money out of the machines. We don't have it. We don't want to admit that. So we roll down the shutters and off you go. And for 3 days, every ATM, every payment terminal, everything was closed in a big city of millions. I think about 5 million people, inhabitants.
Wow.
And that is, once you see that, I think it has an impact. I think it really does something with how you perceive money and how these things work. Micha, when you lived there, what was your experience at that time? I mean, I could tell so much, but I'm also curious how you perceive that.
You have more experience than me in this case, because I was not living in Greece at that time, but my grandma and my family, of course. But we needed to create a bank account here in Germany for my grandma, for her to be able to get more than, I think it was 100 euros per day or per week, or 60 a day. Yeah, something like that. And it was a mess, and everyone out of my family had the problem. So it was so close. In this case, back in the days, I was just thinking about, the banks are a centralized entity, and of course they can do stuff like that, but I don't expect it, and I don't expect to see it in my lifetime. But there you go, and in your home country, you see that it happens, and that's for Europe. We have many countries which have seen something like that, but even in Europe, we were not safe. So
Greece was really dramatic. I think hardly anybody expected it to be this bad. And like first it was these 3 days of no money getting out of the machines at all. And then they slowly open it, few hours, and just $60 a day, which, okay, 60 euros a day in Greece is okay. I mean, if you multiply this with 30 days, that is actually more money than people usually earn. But having no money at all for 3 days, being basically broke, and then being able to get 60 out, this was, I mean, the queues were shocking. There was some places, there was hundreds of people waiting, and usually a lot of elderly people, that really were anyway getting a very little retirement, and they put all little pennies on the bank account, hoping to at least, make a living from that. And then they had to learn it the hard way to say, like, you thought it's your money, but as soon as you put it in the bank, it's gone. Basically, it's not there anymore. They just have this tiny fraction of it.
It's like my first crypto experience actually was kind of related to that. I knew about crypto already, but I was talking with Argentinians that came to Costa Rica traveling for tourism, and at that time in Argentina, they were not in the same way. They were not allowed to buy a certain amount of US dollars. Only like they had a limit. So they had their own fiat currency, like the Argentinian currency. And if you wanted to like buy something else, like dollars, to go outside of the country, then you had this limit. And I met some people that said that they saved for like 4 or 5 months. And it's not that they didn't have the money, it's that they saved the limit. I'm like, let's say they wanted to go to Costa Rica, so they wanted $500, but they are only allowed to buy $100 a month. So they have to wait 5 months to get enough money saved, even though it's their money, to be able to travel to Costa Rica, which is a little bit like an expensive country, and they know they need like $500 at least to come here. I'm just like making up the numbers, but it's something like that. And then I met another guy that told me, like, they told me, yeah, we had to save, and I told them, maybe check out Bitcoin. What's that? In those times, it was not as visible, so they went and researched about it. And then I met an Argentinian guy that was traveling around the world using Bitcoin as his debit card. That's how he called it. He basically bought all his Argentinian currency into Bitcoin and then started traveling. And he said, yeah, it's difficult because you have to save the time, like, okay, 5 months for $500. But in his case, he just bought everything in Bitcoin. And I met him here in Costa Rica when he was selling Bitcoin for the local currency. He says, yeah, now I changed all my Argentinian currency to Bitcoin. Now I'm here in Costa Rica. I need $500. Then I just find somebody, exchange for the Costa Rican currency, $500, and now I'm good to go. That's how I left that gated thing in Argentina. And it's kind of like these things where people start losing trust in the governmental currencies or government-backed currencies, where cryptocurrencies really shine. And as we said before, USDC, okay, is kind of centralized. We don't expect something to happen with Coinbase, but is against introducing the middleman or the centralized aspect that has failed in the past in some places. So something to analyze. How centralized or how decentralized is this solution, and how convenient it is also, because convenience is important for some people.
It's actually a good point for the next topic, which is atomic swaps in the Nimiq wallet, because it is without centralization, and just today I was working the whole day on finishing a blog post that Sören has drafted, our front-end lead developer, because he has been working for, I don't know, like a month now in the wallet to get Nimiq Oasis and Fastspot integrated, so you can actually swap NIM and Bitcoin for each other, and also swap them with Euro, which is about to be released really soon. We can't give a deadline exactly because there's a bank involved, there's other legal things involved, and this is always a little bit complicated, and it's impossible to give exact deadlines. But we can already see the finishing flag, so it's really close. It's already works in testing, so that's really, really promising. And it's interesting to see also. I think I recommend people to read the blog posts that are more technical, to simply also bend your head around what does it mean to use a centralized exchange. What does it mean to use to move, for example, buy Bitcoin with my credit card on Binance? It's fine. I mean, Binance is pretty safe. I think it has its upsides. It's very easy to use, but there's always this kind of but. It works while it works. It worked perfectly in Greece before that horrible day. So you could just go everywhere. You could tap on your card, or you put it in, you put on your PIN, and there you go, cash, and you have your cup of coffee. Perfect. All nice, until that guy on the other side said, nope, don't wanna, I don't have to. It's like, maybe you didn't realize, but I'm a private business and I can do whatever I want, and I think so those things are really something that's I feel it's a little bit of a rotten tooth in the whole crypto sphere, and we have to pull it out. And I think pulling it out is only done through atomic swaps that basically mean both sides of the parties that want to exchange something, they put that in a smart contract. Smart contract is a mathematically proven thing that really is reliable. It's not something that I give it to you and I hope you give it back. No, it's locked up there. It's backed by the blockchain. And if both parties actually put their funds in and one takes the one, he has to release his key. So the other one sees the key and can take the other funds. And those things are swapped. And if both don't do it, after a timeout, the funds will just go back to the original owner. It's either this or that. It's neither anything in between. It's neither halfway or anything like that. And it's complicated to actually really manufacture this, also doing this in a web-based wallet, because the technical part is quite intense. And we tried our best to do this, to give it a deep dive or give it a good go in this blog post. It's quite some pages, but I really recommend it. And we'll be happy to hear also feedback on this one of how the processes work exactly and why it's really important to consider this. We're going to release it soon. This is something really that sets us apart. It really makes Nimiq, and especially Oasis in this case, really special.
I think it's pretty cool. I always explain it to people as when there is in movies, when there is a ransom and then you're paying for the ransom victim, and it's like, okay, you release him. No, you give me the money first. No, you release him first. No, you give me the money.
Okay, you want to use atomic swaps for that?
If we find a way to have a smart contract for those sorts of situations, I don't know how to do that, but yeah, it will be the perfect scenario for an atomic swap. You don't have to trust the other person and just swap it. And it's kind of like, as you said, like this rotten tooth is just when you start really talking with people about crypto, and then you go, okay, what is crypto about? Is this decentralized way of sharing value between peers without having to trust anybody? Okay, and how do you get it? I just trust this person and give them my money and expect them to give me the crypto. Wait, but you just said that you don't have to trust anybody. Yeah, but exactly. When you swap things, you do have to trust them. Really? Okay.
And it's so easy and convenient. Yeah, especially for OTCs, it's a good case, no? Changing with somebody, you can use a bank account, you can wire the money over while the other one is sending you the crypto, and that's perfectly what Oasis can do. And so you don't even have to know the other person. You don't have to go into a back alley with a pack of cash and I hope he has Bitcoin and not a knife. You know?
Yeah.
You never know.
No, here in Costa Rica, it happens very often because there is no Coinbase or kind of those products. So in crypto communities, it's very common to see people doing OTC trades and saying, "Hey, I bought from this person and he actually sent the money, so I can vouch for him. He's a good trader." But I also have heard stories of friends of mine that they went to a physical location to do an OTC exchange with actual fiat and big numbers, and they got dropped because somebody just tells them, hey, just come here to this public location, yeah, give me the crypto, I'll give you the money, and then I have friends of mine waiting for you after you leave the location, the door. You open the door, you walk a block, and then people know that you're carrying a huge amount of money, and they just like point a gun to your face, and you have now not the crypto and not the fiat. So it's like those things, it gets really tricky. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, that's how that is, right? So we need proper solutions, proper technical solutions. You know, that is like, that feels like medieval ages or older, that people move those things around like this and have to trust you, and then you give me this thing. But you know, we have technology for that, and actually can do amazing things. And I think if it's packaged nicely, like in the wallet, actually it's pretty usable. It's not as easy as using any centralized exchange, maybe, or like Shapeshift or Trust Wallet or anything of those where there is like a swap integrated and it's very easy. It's click, click, click and done. The good thing though is, I mean, maybe it's a few more steps and it takes a few minutes more, but the cool thing is up to $1,000, no extra KYC procedures needed. No signing up and first making a video call, holding up your passport and this kind of things. that I think compensates for the few minutes it takes more to do a swap. And I hope it's people also going to simply feel it's worth doing, like investing 5 minutes of your time. You don't have to sit in front of the computer, knowing it's either going to succeed or it's going to be back on my account. It's never going to get lost. I think this is something we have to all consider if we really want to pull the tooth out of depending on other people, hoping it's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's actually decentralized.
I can tell you from my viewpoint, more of a community viewpoint, of course. As I've brought many new to crypto guys into Nimiq, everyone was really thankful from the bottom of their heart to not have the need to verify somewhere and so on and so on. It was like heaven to be able to buy Nimiq so easy. So I can give you the feedback. It's exactly what you intended it to be.
Yeah, I mean, if I buy something on Amazon for the first time, I don't have to do KYC, you know? Why do I have to do KYC when I buy a few NIM? It's like, I think it's simply because it's the state we're in or whatever, but it's good to get rid of it, at least for those amounts that are just, I mean, $1,000 a month is a simple household transaction. That is, and for people that want to dollar cost average into crypto, it's a great amount. I mean, $1,000 is a lot. And even $100 is something that people find interesting. And for them, it's as easy as it can be now. Create your wallet, wire that money, you get your crypto on your wallet, and you're good. You know, next month maybe a little bit more, whatever you feel like, whatever you choose for yourself.
And you can be kind of assured that from our end, yeah, I know there's a train going by. This bank knows it. Yeah, it's difficult, but it just goes away.
It's nice. It's fun, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
the crypto
train is leaving. Yeah.
The train is leaving. So yeah, something that I feel is people can rest assured we are in terms of fees, because there's another issue here in Costa Rica. People like, hey, how come like I have to pay 5% each time that I exchange my Bitcoin for something else? We try to get as low as a fee as possible to cover the costs of bank transfers and server maintenance and such, and while at the same time providing some benefit to the NIM supporters by using this 1% and buy NIM off the market from the Oasis transaction fees, and that's it. I mean, that's what we are aiming for, to also give people a kind of like a fair way of doing swaps.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit tricky. I think cost-wise, to be really honest, we realized that infrastructure is expensive, but we wanted to really give it a go at the 1%. We'll see what the future will bring, but we wanted to start with a very, very good price. And basically, I mean, I would almost feel like 1%. It's like, I don't even think about it too much. You know, 5%, it starts to hurt. If you have $1,000, 5%, you know, that's already a nice meal with your girlfriend. So you don't want to miss that. But $10 is all right, you know, for $1,000 to change. I think that's fair. There's a lot of things involved, a lot of steps. You can read it in the blog post. Yeah. All right.
We're going to try to have the link for the blog post in the description below of this video. If you're watching
in some screenshots and some photos, and it will be perfect, and we can release it.
Cool. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the link in the description. If you're hearing us in Spotify or other podcast platforms, then just go to nimiq.com/blog. It will be the latest blog post.
It's also very easy. No affiliate link here for our blog. You can just go there directly. It's fine. Shall we move on, Richie?
Yes.
Something about the shop.
Okay, yeah, I almost forgot about that one. So as if you are been following us for some time already, you probably know about the Nimiq shop. The shop was actually launched back then. I think it was like 2017 almost. It was like one of the first Nimiq projects outside of the wallet, of course, and the blockchain, because we wanted a place where we can showcase purely like how easy it is to use Nimiq and to buy something directly with Nimiq. So we have a shop where we sell Nimiq swag. We also use it as a marketing stunt because we're not trying to get money out of it. We are trying to get you to wear our swag and also to be happy with it. So we try to make very nice designs and also fair trade cotton and just as good as quality as we can get for it to be a nice item also. And we have new items in the store. At least we have one new thing, the hoodies. I personally have a hoodie. I use it like everywhere. I go to the gym with the hoodie, go out with the hoodie. It's super stylish, so comfy. And now there is a new design of the hoodie because like this is a leak. When we designed the hoodies the first time, we had the logo, but we were like, some of the people in the team didn't agree totally with the logo. We were like discussing already to change the identity because of the dollar sign in the logo, as you might remember. So that is why the two very first items of the shop, the hat and the hoodie, have no logo. Because back then we were like, maybe we changed the logo in the coming months, and then we're going to have a bunch of those in stock with the old logo. So it just says Nimiq, the hoodie. But now that we have the new logo for quite some years and we already are fond with it, I think I like it quite a bit. Now the hoodie has the logo. So there's a new version of the hoodie in the shop. You can go to shop.nimiq.com and buy a new hoodie. If the one you already bought is maybe like mine, already getting a little bit old, you can update it and buy a new one.
Nice.
And there is some other thing that some people in the team, including me also, I have been asking for. And we are starting to design it and to talk with the manufacturer. We are working on Nimiq sweatpants, like some very nice stylish sweatpants that you can also wear around. And let's see how they come out. But
I think we have a customer.
Yeah, definitely. I will buy. Nice. Definitely.
Nice.
Cool. We're going to try maybe in post-production to have a picture of the sweatpants, so for you to get excited. But I'm also a big time customer. As soon as they go out, I'm going to buy some of those. So if you have ideas for new items for the store, for the shop, just as the same, let us know, and we can like think of different things. I personally have been also like thinking different items that we can use for people around the world. I think the hat is very nice, but maybe an updated version. And I don't know, like crazy ideas. I personally would love to see a Nimiq frisbee to play in the park or such. I can imagine a nice
hexagon shape.
And
yes, he's going to. Do you think it's going to fly?
It doesn't fly, but it looks awesome.
Yeah,
it could fly.
Maybe
it could fly.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Why not?
I mean, I don't want to create too much excitement because I'm part of managing the shop, and it's a hell lot of work getting new products in, and even with the border, like shipping it, you have to get the paperwork for taxes and then how that's all called. I don't remember. So one thing at a time. But I think now during the year now and then we're going to release a few more things to make it interesting. I've also been talking with a member of the community about a poster that he wants to contribute. He has the picture already, and now we're looking if we can find the manufacturer and maybe ship that. It's not our main priority because after all we are a blockchain project and not Amazon, but a few things now and then to keep the people excited and have some nice place to buy some Nimiq swag. Always good, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I mean, that was already the last topic, right?
Yes, I think that's what we. Yeah.
I still have something to say because I forgot it at the start. I don't know if the majority of the community knows how I got my role as an incubator manager. And I just wanted to give a short overview how it happens to maybe give you some thoughts out there in the community. How things can work and how you can use your power and your energy and your ideas to maybe help Nimiq thrive too. So I started with shilling Nimiq, creating memes, spreading the message, being active. Like maybe some of you know, I love memes. I love Twitter memes. Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, definitely, and I love to create them now. I started with it last year to create some, but what I want to say is, I mean, I am and I was an investor myself, and I was always curious what I could do to help Nimiq thrive. And after all that activity and all that energy I've invested, Max approached me after some time period and asked me if I like the idea for Nimiq Incubator. So basically, that's how the initiative got born. And I just want to tell everyone, if you think you have something to give for the ecosystem, just do it. Do it, and you definitely get a chance, and definitely have plenty of people which are willing to help you and support you. And yeah, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any projects, if you want to do something, please just do it, or ask people, ask me, go to the team. They are always open-minded and have an open ear for that. That was very
Thanks. I'm so
important
happy
for
to
me
hear that.
to say. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, very nice words. Yeah, I think it's good that since the beginning, part of the DNA of the project is to be community driven, community first. And we, of course, know there's a lot of different types of people in the crypto space. So there's always the people that go like, hey, when Moon and Lambo and talking about price predictions. But we have quite a few members. We have like quite a few members that contribute and that discuss ideas, and that is cool because you've seen them growing throughout all these years. They already know each other. They're like, it would be cool next at some point when Corona is like a little bit more controlled, like meetups and those kind of things, people meeting for the first time after talking for a while online, because I think this is the point, that the Nimiq community is a place where everybody is welcome to contribute, to create things, and everybody's so friendly and willing to help each other. And that is, I think we started with that DNA in the team, but the type of people that joined are also in the same mindset of kind of open sourcey, contributing, helping. What is your skill? You create memes? Come ahead, and then I'll help you. I'll share some information with you. We create memes together. We'll have a hell of a great time doing so. And then it's a place you want to come back and contribute and talk with everybody.
Yeah.
A place where everybody knows your name, at least your nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a proactive space, I would say. I always find this interesting. People would sometimes ask, so what can I do? The thing is like, what you can do is to come up with something you can do and see if it works, and then reflect on it. I mean, Søren in our team is a good example. Now he just created a Nimiq watch because he said, like, I'm curious, I'm a developer, I want to learn more about blockchain. What better to do than create a project? And nobody would have thought in the beginning that it would go that far, but that's where it is. Or now Micha running the NIMcubator. I mean, right? It's like, it depends of what kind of thing you're working on that will then create value, or it won't, or it will go somewhere else, or something new comes up, or you will join forces with somebody else. This is an open project, and any idea is welcome. And when we started creating the blockchain, we didn't have the idea of oasis in our mind, for example, and now this is becoming very interesting. So we all have to stay flexible and then be creative with new ideas and see where Nimiq actually can really shine and be used.
Yeah, so everything from creating memes, creating videos, sharing ideas for projects, doing some design. Yeah, the train.
Don't miss the train.
Yeah. Don't miss the train. And yeah, openly, just to thank everybody from the community for being so awesome. I think it's just I'm part of different, and I have been part of different crypto communities in the past, and I have to say that I'm pretty proud of ours, how like helpful and proactive everybody is. And all you guys know
Cheers, guys.
what I'm talking about. So cheers for that, kudos. And as somebody in the community says, let's continue making Nimiq great.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Make Nimiq great again.
Yeah, but not
Sure.
again. Great. So,
okay, we have also our ups and downs, but that's how it goes. That's fair.
yeah, but it's ups and downs in terms of maybe like market price and those things, but community is still going strong. And well, sometimes ups and downs with some product that get, of course, like some things take longer than expected when you're developing like cutting edge technology, but I think our community knows that we do as much as possible. And when sometimes something gets a little bit delayed, then it's because things happen, but it is going to eventually come out, and it is going to come out. It's going to be awesome. So that's also something great to have their support and sometimes their patience.
For me, Nimiq was never higher, so it was just because of the standard Telegram chat message about Nimiq, making Nimiq great again. Yeah, it was not meant like that.
That's
No
okay.
worries about it. No.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
So thanks a lot for joining us, Micha, and also all you guys for joining us for this session. We hope you enjoy it. Again, invite you to share over the community some ideas for the next time, or some special guests that you might want us to invite. And thanks for joining. See you in the next time. Anything else, Sven?
Thank you. I think it's cool. We hope we can really help also everybody with the information that we give, to give a bit of an update. Things are moving, and looking forward to the next one. We already have some special guests. We can't really tell it yet because things are always a little bit in the open, but it could be very interesting. I think so.
Yeah, I think the idea is kind of like go a little bit deeper into this atomic subtopic and talk a little bit more of how it works. Okay, we know how it works in the crypto space, how it could work in the actual financial world when you have banks and regulations and stuff like that. I think it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So see you in the next one. Don't miss it.
Bye, Richie.
Thanks for the invite.
It's like, bye.
Bye, guys.
No, Richie, you did it wrong. The other direction.
Okay, well.
That's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.